Hello everyone, I just want to show you how Curiosity with Alice works. Now this here is my Curiosity with Alice, and what you get in the kit, which is currently on special at the moment, they are a big 15% off, and the dollar exchange with most countries to Australia, you guys are in favour. Sadly, not Australians wanting to buy from things overseas. So, bonus time for you guys, and it's 15% off. So how does Curiosity with Alice work? You get a flexible mat, you get 18 cards. Now you'll notice these 18 cards all match what is printed on the mat. Now this is like how can I explain? It's like a rubber mouse mat that they used to do. People don't use mouse mats these days, or not many. And it's flexible, it's wipeable down with just a soft cloth. If you're like me and I spill tea all over these things, even doing that, that's okay. I've actually had to do a bit of a warm wash, not in a machine, but hand wash. So the way it works is we shuffle the 18 cards. And I always turn mine upside down because I am a card flipper, and you can put them out any pattern way you like. So I'm just going to have it differently this time. And you go higgledy-piggledy, my black hen, or I say it's fat hen. So we have the cards laying face down. You get with the kits, you get the mat, you get the cards, you get 3 dice, not these particular ones, but white dice. And it also has matching charm kits. And a booklet, of course, and lots of these videos on YouTube. So these here all, again, match what the symbols are. So you got the mat, you got the charm to match it, and a card that matches it as well. Now, Curiosity doesn't require you trying to memorise meanings and whole, like a tarot deck with 78 cards and so on. The only things you need to remember is red, green, blue. Red row, 1 to 6. Green row, 1 to 6. Blue row, 1 to 6. And that's all you need to remember. And look, when you're starting out, if you're not sure, I'd say tilt your card so you can see the colours. So we got 2 or 3 different ways you can start in. So if you were wanting to look at love reading, for instance, you could actually start in the House of the Heart, which means you turn that card over. If you want to know about work, we would start in the House of the Tower, and so on. We've got money, and we've got family, we've got children, we've got all sorts of topics in this 18. You've then got the other option to start it is throw your dice and add up your dice. So we've got 4, 8, and 3 is 11. So you would then count 6, 12, so here's position 11, and you would start that card. And the starting point is important because we then chain from card number to row colour. So you can also start these though, like I said, 3 ways: the house, the dice, or you can even go random in here and draw out 1 charm. That's the heart. So again, would tell me to start in that house. Doesn't matter your starting point, but choose your weapons, as they say. So I'm going to throw the dice, and I'm going to use a real question, as I'm doing something behind the scenes, and it is a big business venture, and I want to look at it and say, is there anything that I may not be aware of as I'm going down this path? So we've got 5, 8, and 1 is 9. So we're starting here in position 9, and I'm going to flip it over. That's actually really nice. Now you can see we have the 2. We've got the card, goblets, which means celebrations, good union, and I've got the heart. nice start actually, because it tells me what I'm passionate about will come good celebrations. Now this is where you pay attention to your colour and your number. So here's our blue row, and that is a 5. So we're then going down here to number 5. It's card chaining, and you can either turn over every card sometimes you may only turn over one card. I'll get to that. Now, the best way also, before I go much longer in here, is grab a piece of paper and start writing down the chain, the pairs. I always say curiosity gives you very short, sharp answers, and it's a bit like you're writing a paragraph when you're in school. So here it tells me, yes, I'm off to a good start. Something that I'm passionate about will bring about a good union. So 5, blue, we've got here. Nice to see Tower, because it tells me good union and celebrations with the company. And that's not just me, it's also involving another company. And that's, again, Tower is good because it means success, rising, business card. So now we've got a red number 1. So red row, position number 1. We've got the key. Now that's a brilliant one because it tells me many doors will open by doing this venture. I'm liking these so far. So we go back to blue row number 4. The baby carriage, something new. Yes, it is something new to the business. Love the baby carriage because it means new, something that gives you joy. And think of when you hold a child in your arms for the very first time, and it doesn't matter whether you're a parent or you're not, it's like, oh, I love the smell of new baby and that joy to the heart. And to see baby there on the key would tell me new joys are opening. Green row number 2. So we go up here. The comet, or the star. Star is actually a lovely thing. It means dreams and wishes, and it's time to literally the calling. It's what is the spotlight on. Stars are light source. It's like moons and so on, which tells me something that I am looking to spread far and wide. I like the star. That's lovely. Blue row number 2. We've got the walking stick or the cane. Cane tells me here it could be a bit slower than what I expect, and it would tell me too, I've really got to be strong enough and not worry about if I do need a little bit of support along the way. So it just means slow, and sometimes the support network is needed. We have number 1, blue. We got the ladder. Now the ladder is ascending. Because it means, though, things will rise. It's overcoming any obstacle that may be in the way. 3, blue. So you can see where I'm going. House with green. House on the ladder. That's actually interesting. Because it would tell me, again, where things ascend, I've got the house, which 90% of the time I am a home-based business, but it may look at I may need the expansion of this. So 5, green. The sword. Now it's very important with the sword of what the next card is. The sword on the house would tell me, yes, what is it that I do need to look at? Either I eliminate or face head on. Green row number 4. I have to look at the money. That's really interesting because it means, yes, cutbacks in the money. And that's so funny. It is because of a conversation I've had this morning. But there again, it would tell me I need to be very careful and cutbacks in the money. So I'd look at that and say, yes, the business deal that I'm doing, I will need to negotiate quite hard and fast. So the money card is blue 6. So our blue row, number 6. We got the cross. Yes, I am in a spiritual business. Now the cross is very important because a lot of people say crosses are obstacles and blockages and death and mayhem and so on. But a cross is often the fated journey or the path of destiny that needs to be. And it's interesting it's sitting on the money because it would tell me though, listen probably very deep within into what Spirit's telling me of where I lay the money. We've got red row number 2. We turn a lot of cards here today. Scales is about legal contracts, financials and binding. And again, on the cross would still tell me, listen to the self in contractual elements. 6, green, the bat. Now the bat is think smart, think outside the box. It can be in a negative way where what's the shadows that are lurking that I cannot see. So red row, number 6, camel. Camel would tell me again my sheer gut determination, my pig-headedness. It should be a pig, but it's camel, and it means to keep forging forward no matter how hard the road may get, and no matter how hard and difficult some of the shadows may get. Camel 5, ship. That's interesting too, because it is dealing with overseas. And although we can't go anywhere out of state at the moment, but the ship would tell me, yes, the journey that I need to do may be overseas. And it may mean literally me getting, not on a ship, you wouldn't catch me dead on a ship, but it may mean I need to look at the travel as well. And again, further down the track, because it is on the camel. The ship, red row, number 3, spider. Interesting card. Again, everybody and the people who freak out about spiders is we need to look at, is there something, because spider often means a female, and it's like don't fall into the clutches of somebody who may have an ulterior motive. And yes, I'm very wary of that. So the spider is very interesting, and the spider is touching the ship, and that could be the people that I may deal with overseas. So it does mean being very aware. But on the positive with the spider is, again, look at the creativity of people together and just how clever it can be. So green, number 1. Horseshoe, lovely card, because it means great luck and opportunity open. Now, it's nice to actually see that on top of the spider. And our lucky last card on the horseshoe should be the heart. Now, I've turned over every card in this particular reading, and it's a great reading for myself about what I'm doing in the business and where I'm taking it to. And these are fabulous. Sometimes when you start this Curiosi-tea, you may only turn over 1 or 2 cards, and you may have a couple of cards as you've done your chaining that may be down. You may have nearly all of them down except for 2, and that's okay. Do not be tempted if your cards have not turned. Do not, and I can't stress it enough, do not be tempted to turn them over. And the reason being is if they didn't turn over, they are not relevant to your question. So pack them all up and put them away. Do not peek. And I know that's hard. And this is where we have our charms. So, and you put them in a little dish or something. I don't go through and use the whole 18. Some people do. They'll go and place a charm on everyone. That way you're not reading just 2 layers, you're reading 3 layers. But I could use these charms and I could say, okay, I'll pick out 1 or 2 on the spider. And so I've got the sword and the heart, which still tells me, though, be a little more cautious. Don't get roped in on the emotional level because it may be painful. So here, when I'm looking at some money areas that I do need to be a little bit more careful, what have I got? I've got the scales and the goblet. So it would tell me the care and needed where it is around money. Yes, it's good to have goblet celebrations, but the scales would tell me overlooking the contracts and the documents. So that is Curiosi-tea in a nutshell, but a brilliant reading for me. And this particular one is called Alice. So thanks for joining me, guys.